Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, let's see. So you don't even have an office to sit in. So, okay. So, basically what's happening is I'm being involved in a conspiracy between the Coronado Police, my business partner, and the two Brian Terry, and the two people I do currently room with, which is Curtis Pereira and Jim Collins. Now you're saying to yourself, why would the Coronado Police be involved? You're crazy, you know. And so I wish I was just being crazy, but I'm not. The Coronado Police have been arresting me based on hearsay, mostly, I think, and or unverifiable incidents. So what you'd have to understand is that, okay, I've been arrested for allegedly threatening Mr. Collins. I think twice I've been arrested for that. I'm not sure.
Your latest report from one day with the police detective.
Yeah. Now I haven't been allowed to get any incident reports, so I need those all gathered up for myself.
Okay.
So can I get a copy of those?
Yeah, you can get a copy of those, sure.
So can I come into your office and get a copy of everything?
I don't have a copy ready for you, unfortunately.
I mean, not right now, but in an hour or 2 hours after this story. Okay.
I really have to check with my supervisor about that, okay?
Okay. Okay. Alright, but anyway, so how are they all working together? Okay, Mr. Pereira. Okay, the first thing that happened was Mr. Terry had my boat towed off the property illegally. He had the tow off the property in a capacity as if it had been illegally towed on the property. The boat had been towed up. The boat had been parked on the property for a couple of years, and then for some reason, Mr. Terry decided to have it towed off the property. Now I think it's because he was trying to comply with some sort of city ordinance, but he didn't let me know anything about that, nor did he provide any alternative for where to put the boat. And he and I had been working on the boat together. He'd been financially funding it while I worked on it because we were going to use the boat in his latest business, Britboy Fashions. Now he had the boat towed off the property, and I was miffed by the whole thing, and I was there. I want to say September 29th. I'm not exactly sure, but it was the end of September. I'm pretty sure 28th, 29th, 27th, 28th, 29th, something like that. I'll look it up. I have it in my notes. But so we got towed. So the boat got towed. I was there when it got towed. The Coronado Police showed up. They stopped the traffic so that the guy could tow the boat off the driveway. Now I didn't actually see that part of it. I saw them stopping traffic, but by the time I got back around, I saw it from the street. And then by the time I got back around to the car, back around to the house in my car, the boat had already been towed away. But the police and Mr. Terry and his girlfriend were there. And I told the police that I want Mr. Terry arrested for stealing my boat. And the police said, and this was Jennifer Ayers, was the police officer, Coronado police officer Jennifer Ayers said, you know where the boat is? And I said, I don't know where the boat is. And she went over to Mr. Terry and asked Mr. Terry where the boat is and recited some name. I forget what the name was, but I called that establishment, and they said, we don't have the boat, but call this one. And so that's what I did. I called the other one, and sure enough, they had the boat. So I went and got the boat. So I went and retrieved the boat. I retrieved the boat by paying the towing fees. So like it'd been illegally parked, I had to pay for it like it'd been illegally parked, and I moved it to a new storage. And then I went into the next day, the following day, I went into the police station to report Mr. Terry for stealing the boat. And Mr. Terry walked into the police station probably a minute after I did. And I was sitting down, and he was standing at the counter at that point. And he said he wanted to have me, he wanted to turn me in or have me me charged with Grand Theft Auto, I think. And at that point, we were taken into separate rooms by different officers. I was with Jennifer Ayers, and he was with Officer Batista. And I told Jennifer Ayers that Mr. Terry had illegally towed the boat, and he stole the boat, basically, and I need to make a report. And she said, all right, and she went out and she talked to, I assume, Batista, because she came back in the room with Batista, and at that point, all they wanted to talk about was, I guess Mr. Terry alleged I'd stolen some money from him, and that's all they wanted to talk about at that point. They were no longer interested in talking about the boat. Batista told me she did not believe that the boat was stolen. She didn't believe me that when I said Mr. Terry had the boat stolen, she did not believe that. She told me she didn't believe it, and so I left the police station at that point, after answering, I think, a couple more of their questions about alleged thievery of some sort of money. Now, and then what happened is, like a day or two after that, one of my roommates alleges he was assaulted in some way, I think. I'm not exactly sure, because again, I haven't seen the reports. I haven't been allowed to see the reports, but I think one of my roommates alleges he was assaulted. The police show up, and they don't charge me with assault, but they show up and they harass me at my door and ask me questions about everything ranging from cultivation of marijuana to assaulting my roommate. And I told them I didn't know of any such thing or was part of any such thing. And they went and got a warrant, and about 4 hours later, I think it was like about 2 in the morning, they broke into my room and they arrested me and charged me with cultivating marijuana, for having marijuana. I had marijuana in my room, but like I said, I'm a marijuana medical patient, and they charged me for the marijuana that was growing in the backyard, which I'm still not sure what they're talking about. And oh yeah, allegedly growing mushrooms in the backyard.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so what I think they're saying is there was mushrooms growing in the same place where the marijuana was growing. Now, with your do you have any experience with mushrooms?
No.
Okay, mushrooms don't grow under light. So, you know, that's, I only know this because I study it. I don't know anything about it otherwise. So the same police officer who's charging me with growing mushrooms is the same police officer who shot Foley, the football player, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So this crazy officer is charging me with growing mushrooms in a place that mushrooms would not grow. Nor am I growing mushrooms, nor should I be held responsible for something in the backyard when there's a number of people who live at the house. Additionally, my roommate, another roommate who used to live there, is a medical marijuana patient. She admitted to having marijuana in her room. They weren't interested in talking about it. She also noted that the police wanted to blame Curtis's rear window on his car has been smashed out, and she noted that the police wanted to blame that on me, but Mr. Pereira told them it wasn't me, and she noted their disappointment.
What's the other medical marijuana for?
Bree LaPlante. Bree LaPlante has since moved out because Brian Terry paid her to move out. So Brian Terry paid her to move out. So the only people there are this Mr. Collins and Mr. Pereira and his kids. Now, so I get arrested for allegedly growing marijuana and mushrooms. I think that was it, and possession and sales, I think, is what they were charging me with. So then I go to jail, and I come back to find that all the locks in the house and my room is a separate building. My room was the garage. It was refurbished into a studio apartment. There was no visible garage door from the inside of the building. There was no way to get a car into the building. It was a bedroom. It has a standard door, window fixtures, etc. It's a loft. So I came back to find that the lock on my place had been changed, and all the locks in the house had been changed. So I broke into my room by going through the skylight to find that it had been robbed. My room had been robbed. My computers were taken. Most of the things of value had been taken, including business files. proceeded into the house, and I got into the main house through the bathroom window, because it's locks were locked too, and because I didn't have my phone, and I started screaming, "Help! Help! Call the police! I've been robbed! Help! Help! Call the police! I've been robbed!" And the police show up and I open the front door, or I come to the front door, and they tell me to get on the ground at gunpoint. So I just gotten out of jail. I came home to find I'd been robbed. I asked for help. The police showed up and arrested me. And I believe that was allegedly for assaulting Mr. Collins. Okay, so if you talk to Brie LaPlante, and I'm sure she'll verify this, that she and Mr. Collins were standing there together, and he claims I threatened him, which is very disappointing. I don't know how to unprove it, but and furthermore, the police can't arrest me for allegedly threatening someone. You know, did they say they have a witness? I'd like to see that. I didn't threaten this guy. I was arrested. I get out of jail some 4 days later to find that more things had been taken. All the backup discs had been taken. More business material had been taken. Anything that had any valuable left at all in my room had been taken at that point. I noticed at the window on their initial entry, they broke out a window that's near the near the door of the room in order to gain initial access. They didn't go through the skylight like I did. And I didn't notice it because in the backyard, Mr. Terry had piled up a bunch of debris against the broken window, so you couldn't see the window, let alone that it was broken. Then I was, so I'm there 4 days, I get out, I find that I've been robbed, and I stay away for a couple of days, and then I'm going to go to the police and make a police report. And on my way to the police station, I get pulled over by the police and arrested. I think I think 2 or 3. I think 2 or 3 days after I got out, I'm going to go to the police station. I'm driving around Coronado trying to figure out what I'm going to, trying to recall my list of items. And before I get a chance to get to the police station, I'm pulled over by the police, detained. And I asked why I'm detained, and they said, we'll figure that out. And I believe they were on the phone again, I believe Mr. Collins said I threatened him, or Mr. Pereira, I don't know. So they arrested me at that point. They found in my car medical marijuana. There was probably 1/4 of an ounce. The officer noted that it was less than an ounce when she first arrested me. And then on the police report, or whatever was generated for the court, I didn't see it, but other people saw it. She wrote that it was a complete ounce, 28.5 grams. She wrote it as if it was an exact ounce. She wrote an exact ounce amount. So when I say the police are involved in a conspiracy, it's because they won't take a report. Because when they're arresting me, that first time they arrested me after I got robbed, I'm in the car screaming, "I've been robbed, I need to make a police report. I've been robbed, I need to make a police report." They're trying to ask me questions, and I said, "I need to make a police report. I've been robbed." And they keep saying, "Oh, we'll get to that, we'll get to that." But we never do. So I'm screaming that the whole time. And they're only interested in what the roommates have to say about me. People who've been there either 60 or 30 days, and I've been there 9 years. Okay, none of the people there have been there for any length of time, and I'm the one who's been there the longest. And Curtis has got 3 kids in one room, and he was supposed to only be there for a short period of time, but he's used this as an opportunity to get involved with my ex-business partner and somehow take over the house and get rid of me at the same time. So where was I? So I get arrested and I get out, and then the last time I get arrested, my parents helped me move some of the stuff out of my room. I didn't move out, but I did move some stuff out to preserve it. And the next day I went to the house, and nobody with a restraining order was there, but Mr. Collins was there. And Mr. Collins claims that I threatened him. Mr. Collins, I caught the entire incident on video because I'm used to people making false accusations about me. So with the video camera in the on position, I entered the house. I had a short conversation with Mr. Collins, asking him where my personal items were. He let me know that he threw them away and or got rid of them. And I said, okay. And he said, you better get out of here or I'm going to call the police. And I said, I can be in this house as I live here. And he became irate, at which point I pulled the video camera off my belt and made it obvious that I was filming him. He continued to dial the police, and while he was speaking initially to the police, I continued to hold the camera on him, turned around and showed myself walking out the door. What Mr. Collins told the police is that I filmed him, shut it off, put the camera behind my back, and then said something like, I'm going to kill you when we get outside, motherfucker. Mr. Collins commonly uses the F word when the police are not around, even around the children. Mr. Collins and Mr. Pereira are both drunks. In fact, the initial night Mr. Collins called the police on me for harassment, Aaron Mansker, the football player killer, wouldn't take a report from Mr. Collins because Mr. Collins was too drunk. And he allowed Mr. Collins to make a citizen's arrest, which I haven't seen because it got stolen and it was one of the things stolen. So Mr. Collins was allowed to make a citizen's arrest. I believe that was October 1st. And then on October 2nd, they charged me with the assault of Mr. Collins. However, on October 1st, going back to October 1st, they wouldn't let Mr. Pereira make a report about me. They let him make a citizen's arrest, which is a ticket. Mr. Pereira continued to drink, got more drunk, became more obnoxious. I called Aaron Mansker specifically and told him to come do something about Mr. Pereira in his drunken state. He has children, he's a danger to himself and his children. And Aaron Mansker told me everything would be alright and not to worry about it. You know what I'll do is I'll type up a version 2. I can imagine that not everything I articulated probably caught your ear, so
yeah, I tried typing as much as I could down.
Yeah, but I'll go ahead and put up something myself. I'd really like to be able to help the public defender take care of this, because this is a case where a public defender could be used. I mean, is appropriately used. In other words, I'm not guilty, so the public defender should be able to handle this. Yeah. But I understand you guys are very busy people, so what I need to do is figure out whether or not you're too busy for this case or everything's on the ball.
No, we wouldn't have taken the case if that was true, you know?
Do you even have a choice to take the case?
Oh, sure, yeah.
You do? People are automatically assigned public defenders, though. You mean that?
No, they're assigned public defenders, but when it comes to like the specific attorney, just because you're automatically assigned to the public defender's office doesn't mean you're all going to the same attorney.
Okay, so I could have gotten a different public defender, is what comes out to. Okay. That makes it different. Okay, alright, I'll work as fast as I can, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and write down your email so I can email you whatever I want to communicate. Is it okay? Don, D-A-N-N? Is that what that is? No, not Stan. D-A-W, that's right. D-A-W, Don, D-A-W. Don, E-L-L-A. Okay, alright, thanks, Brad, and I'll